Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Knowledge King. And in the last video we saw if conditions, okay, if, else if and else. So today we are gonna see some more details about if else conditions, okay, and this video is all about nested if and the switch statement. So what is the difference between nested if, what is the difference between switch, and how we can use these two things side by side. So I think this is going to be an interesting video. Let's see how we are going to do that. So continuing the same example that we saw in the last episode, okay, we'll see how we are going to enhance the same example and how we are going to use the nested if. So I'm giving you a condition, okay. Let's go through the statement which you're going to see on the screen right now. Here you can see the statement. What the statement is all about. So the point number one is the number should be less than 100, okay. And if the number is less than 100, what we have to do is we have to again check if the number is still less than 75. If the number is less than 75, you should say the number is quite less than 75. If the number is less than 50, you should print this number is less than 50. These are two different conditions that we are having along with the condition is number is still less than 100. So overall there are three conditions. And if the number is at all greater than 100, you should directly say that number is too big. So let's see how we are going to do this. So let's declare a variable where number. So we have started to add some meaningful names to the variables. Let's say that number is somewhere around, should be less than, let's make it as less than or equal to. So that would be very good. We have the number that is 100. So what our first condition says. So how we are going to break this is we have 2 points and we will break this into the 2 points. If number is less than or equal to 100, okay, we are going to add our own code. Else you can write it in the next line, you can write it just after that. Both the things are fine. Else we have some code which is for greater than 100 and this is for less than or equal to 100. This is how you should basically start debugging your code or start writing the chunks of your code so as to write a better understanding of the code. Now again we have two other conditions. So usually the way we saw in a previous example, we can still debug this code in the same other way. So what we can do is if number is less than 100 and number is less than 75, we can have two conditions. Number is less than 75, okay. Again I can add another condition, else if the same thing, okay. And here what I can add a code is what the code says, it is less than 100 and number is less than 50. So let me change it to 50. See, we can have these kind of statements, but there is one small drawback of this code that we are checking. Okay, this condition till here it's absolutely fine, okay, but the drawback of this code is that you are checking this same condition, number is less than equal to 100 twice, and if you're checking the same condition 2 times, that means you are asking the program to do the same calculation all over again 2 times, and that is a bit bad code. So how to avoid such kind of scenarios? You can write this code, this will work absolutely, there is no confusion about it. But now we are talking about improving the performance or improving your code readability as well as its execution. So performance is always dependent on the execution speed. So how fast your code is going to be executed. The more conditions that you add, the smaller your performance would be. Okay. So we have to also keep these things in mind while writing the program. But on this initial level, this program is also absolutely correct. You don't have to think about it. But now as we have started to talk about code readability, let me write it in another way and you tell me which method is the correct one or which method you would feel is a bit more appropriate to read. So this is the method 1 and now I'm going to start with the method 2. Let me just quickly comment this out. This is still okay. I'll just start writing the logic for method 2 here only. Method 2, okay. So I'll start with the same condition. If number is less than if number is less than equal to 100. Again, same thing. I have the code for less than 100, and else I have the code for greater than 100. Right? So we just have to say console.log number is too big. This was another statement. If the number is greater than 100, then we were going to add a straightforward statement, the number is too big. So now let's go to our first condition, and we are going to add another nested condition. So where I am writing these conditions, see, I am writing this condition between those two brace brackets. So that is too important. Okay. If you are adding the code in those brace brackets, that means that you are adding a nested if condition. So if condition within an if condition. There is no difference. It does not make any difference. The writing pattern is similar. Everything is same. The only thing is that I am adding if within an if. You can also do the same thing within else. So I can also add one if condition here as well, and that would still be correct. I can add if condition. So it's not compulsory that if should be independent. You can write if condition in anything. Okay, you can write it in if conditions, you can write it in else conditions, you can write it in loops, you can write it in functions, and so on. So there is no restriction. So JavaScript is too free to write whichever element you are writing, or whichever conditions, loops and everything. There is no restriction that you cannot write something within the other thing. You can write loops within conditions, and you can write conditions within loops. Both are good. So let's not make it more complicated. We should start writing our other conditions. If number is less than 75, that was my first condition. I'll just say console.log and number is less than 75. I'll write another if. You can also have else here, but I'm just trying to make you understand how we are trying to write more code in a simpler way. Number is less than 50. So this is what I have done. Now you just looking at the code, you can say the first statement on line number 7 states the number is less than 100. It will check only once. In the previous method it was checking twice, but here it is checking only once. When you come inside, it will straightforwardly check if number is less than 75, do something. On the line number 13, it will just check if number is less than 50, do something. And my else statement, which is the else of the line number 7 if condition. So that is absolutely important. Okay, if I don't write this bracket, see, if I just remove this bracket, this else statement will become for this if, because it just comes after this curly braces. So that things you have to remember, that where your if condition is ending and where else is starting, so that you can have some proper logic. So this if is for this if ends here, this if ends here. If you want to add some else statement for this line, you can just also write for this line. That is absolutely correct and okay. Let me quickly add some code. Console.log number is less than or equal to 100. So I have my first statement, number is less than equal to 100, but it came here, it started to check this condition is false, it started ignoring it. It came to this condition is also false because number is 100, which is obviously greater than 50 and 75. So it ignored both the conditions, and as it came into if condition, it ignored the else one. So as I said in my previous video, either it is going to go into if, either it is going to go into else. Any one statement would be executed. So that's fine. Let's just lower the value of 100. Let me make it like 70, which is less than 75. So just print it. It started to display the statement that number is less than 75. That's absolutely correct. Now let me make it like 40. What do you think? What are the statements would be? It is going to give me both the statements. See, the number is less than 100. 40, it is still less than 75. So that means it printed the first condition that the number is less than 75. Now it printed the third condition that number is less than 50. So all these statements are absolutely correct. Okay, and if I just say I increase the value to 200, it is not going to go into any if condition, and directly it will go into my else condition and say the number is way too big. So yep, see, I think I am making more sense out of this, and so do let me know in the comment box that which method you would like. Okay, I know the method 1 is short to write. Okay, and if I go to the above statement, here it is a bit big, but it is more readable and more easy to understand. Okay, so you can choose any method, both are absolutely correct into their own way. Do let me know which method you would choose above the other in the comment box below. So here we are done with the nested if. Now there is another concept which works on the same principle as if condition, but we usually don't consider it into condition. That is the statement, called it as switch statement. It does the same thing. It just checks the conditions, it just checks the values, and it will directly jump to that particular case. So let me see. Let's take the same example. My number is less than 100. I have to do something. If my number is less than 50, or not less than, let's say that if my number is 75, okay, so I'll just say that number is 75. I'll just remove this less than wala statement. If my number is 50, just print the message as straightforward 50. Let me just make it in the equal lines. Okay, I hope this is making sense. So if the number is 75, just print the message 75, number is 75. If the number is 50, just print the statement as number is 50. If it is greater than 100, straightforward, say the number is way too big. So let's see. I'll just quickly remove the second statement. Okay, let's not go into more complex things. Let's understand the switch statement first. Okay, that is quite important. So what I'll do, I'll take the same statement where number equal to 100. Okay, and how do we write the switch? You can see the switch. I'll just say number. Okay, so here what we are trying to say, go and check the number. You can write conditions too. Okay, so if the number is less than 100, it will also jump into this switch, but let's not do that. Let's go directly to the value. So let's say that I am writing switch number. So here it will directly take this as the value 100. Now we have like cases. So I can have case. So whatever the number is, I say the case is, let's take the first case, 100. What you want to do when the case is 100 or when the number is 100. So this case is exactly the same thing that I have in my switch statement. So to make it more simple, okay, what it will do, it will say switch, take the value and just check in all the cases. Okay, so I'll just say console.log number is, so here also I'll just change the statement. The number should be, if the number is 100, let's change the statement. I think if number is 100, okay, let me print the message, number is 100. Okay, this is making a bit more sense. So if the number is 100, print the number message, number is 100. So for 75, the number is 75. For 50, the number is 50. So I'm having three different conditions. I'm changing the whole statement now to just make you understand how we are how and why we are writing the statements. Okay, now case 100, I have another case that is 75. Console.log number is 75. Okay, case 50, console.log number is 50. So this is a basic syntax of writing an switch statement. Okay, so what it will do, it will directly go to number, and based on the same number it will check the respective case. What do you think the output would be? Let me quickly run this. Oh, my number is 100, but it is still saying that the number is 100, the number is 75 and the number is 50. Why did it go into these conditions? I haven't checked any condition that if the number is less than 100, do this. I haven't done that. Okay, I have not done it. But still it is saying, it is printing all the 3 statements. There is one more thing. I specifically wrote this so that you would understand that there is a catch in switch statement. If you don't break the statement, it will start executing all of them. Okay, so each case should have a break. Okay, so how to break the switch statement? Just adding a break. So here's 2, I'm adding a break. Let me just add it here, and I'm adding it here as well. Refresh me, and see, the number is 100. If I just change the same value to like 75, it is giving me the number is 75. If I add it like 50, it is the number is 50. So how does it go? Let's say, let me just explain it to you. The number is 50, it comes here and it starts checking the cases. So now switch 50. So is this case equivalent to 50? No. Is this case equivalent to 50? No. Is this case equivalent to 50? Yes. And it starts executing this. What will happen, okay, if I just add it as a string? Let's see. It is not printing because, so this is another catch in switch statement. It will exactly check what case you are writing in accordance to the what your value you are passing into the switch statement. So these 2 things always matter. If you are passing a number to the switch statements, all the cases should be numbers. If you are passing the string to the statement, it should be string. The cases should be checked with string, and same goes on with booleans, with array, with everything basically. Okay, with all the data types. What will happen if I just say instead of 50, I just add a value as 20? Do you think anything will be executed? No. Why? Because the number 20 is not matching to any case. But you have to give something to the user. Why is it exactly not giving you any value, whereas the number you are passing is not matching with any number? Okay, so there comes our default case. You don't have to pass anything like 20 or anything to the default case. It's just simply default. It's similar to your else. If none of the cases are matching, it will directly jump to your default case. So we'll just say number is different, and let me refresh this. See, the number is different. It is neither matching with 100, 75 or 50. I'll just quickly add like 60. It is still not matching with any of the number. The number is still different, right? If I just match again like 75, the number is 75. Okay, and I hope I have tried to explain this as easy as possible. If you have not got anything, or if you have any confusion about this, do let me know in the comment box. I'll definitely try to explain it. I hope you like this video and you find it a bit interesting, that how ifs, switch, if else, nested ifs work. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, click on the subscribe to get more notifications about the video. You also have that bell icon over there. Okay, if you click the bell icon, you'll be notified for all the videos that we are gonna throw in future. Thank you everyone.